So we want to talk about how to manifest. Okay, what is manifestation? What is the process of manifestation? How do we manifest? All right. So manifestation basically is the process of taking your thoughts, your emotion, then you transmitted the energy to the universe. First of all, the energy is transferred through your consciousness, goes through your subconscious mind. Then that emotion is picked up by the universe. The universe now acts as a mirror. The universe is basically a big mirror. What it does, it just projects back out to you what you put out to it. All right, guys? I want you to keep in mind now that the universe is non-partial, okay? It has no partiality, meaning that it only gives you what you put out. So if you put out good emotions of things that you desire, those are the emotions that you will receive. If you put out emotions of things that you don't desire, which is unconsciously, then those are the things that will manifest into your life. All right? So guys, that's the key to manifesting. All right? When you want to manifest or you desire to manifest something, the thought is just a beginning process. Okay? The real creation begins with the feeling or the emotion. That is the biggest thing I want you to understand and comprehend. The thought alone does not create it. The thought has partiality to it, but the emotion is what creates it. Okay? And keep in mind, guys, this is important key I want you to remember. Your definition of time and the universe definition of time is not existence. So you, as human beings, we need time, or the conscious part of our mind needs time as a logical structure to function into our perceived reality. That is where time comes in. The real time, listen, time doesn't exist. The only time that exists is right now, the now. Okay? Quantum mechanics shows us that. In a quantum world, there's no such thing as time. The only time that exists is right now. When we have these elementary particles or these quantum particles, these atoms, protons, electrons, they are processing and they're creating now. They don't have a time system. Okay? So that is key to remember. So when you want to create, you create now. There's no time. Time is in the conscious part of our mind. Okay? And that part of our mind is very limited in its capacity to process information. Okay? The part of your mind that is unlimited is the subconscious part of your mind, and then you have the intuitive part of your mind known as your higher self. Let me just give you a brief description of basically, because I get a lot of questions about what is the higher self, what's the difference between the higher self and the subconscious. Well, the subconscious mind has two parts. Okay? The part one is a part that it creates, it goes out. Remember I talk about repetition and habit? That is the part that does the creation. The second part of your subconscious mind is the intuitive part, or the intuition, or your intuitive mind. Okay? Those two parts, they merge together to create your higher self. Okay? So the higher self is a connection with source energy, God, I am, the universe. So when your higher self is in control, what that means that you are in control to create. You can create whatever you desire. Okay? Biggest problem we have, or biggest situation a lot of us have, is the time factor. We all expect things in a certain time, which is logical, because as human beings we like to be in control, and we like to see things manifest, or see things that we can control. That is the structure of your conscious mind. Now that's the key point. Your conscious mind can be an illusion. Okay? It's an illusionary part of your mind, because that part of your mind literally can trick you into believing that things aren't being created, when in essence they are being created at the quantum level, because from the small becomes the large. Okay, you have to remember that. So that's why you have to go beyond now. You have to go beyond what is known as the sight realm, or start to see it to believe it. It doesn't work like that. Okay, your universe works with energy now. Okay, it's all frequency, it's all emissions of emotions. That's how a universe works. And that part of your consciousness that controls that is your subconscious mind. Okay, because it has the capacity, it works with feelings and emotions. The conscious mind, it creates the thought. The subconscious mind creates the emotion. The universe picks it up, mirrors it back to you. Law of attraction gets activated. It's a magnetic force. It brings it into your existence. It matches the frequency. boom, manifest. For some of you guys, it could take months, even years. It's just depending on how much your belief or paradigm structure is. If you can believe without a doubt that you will get what you desire, then you have exercised detachment. However, if you cannot believe with certainty that you will get what you desire, then you don't have the detachment down to science, so to speak. So you have to exercise that, guys. That's all detachment basically is. It's basically knowing for certainty that you will get what you ask for within the heart. Why wouldn't you get it? Now you know how your universe is created. You see that now it's frequencies, it's vibrations now, it's magnetically attraction. So, and how do I know this? And how do you know this? Well, we know this through the science, we know this through quantum mechanics. We know that these atoms, these particles, when you use an electron microscope and you look into an atom, all you're seeing is 98 or 99% empty space. That's all it is. That 1% that's left over is the energy, the vibrating strand of energy, which everything is comprised of, including you and me. So now we know that energy runs the world, the universe. There's no solidity, there's nothing solid. Okay? Remember that. That is very key. See, the thing is this. Once you can understand and you can comprehend how your world or your reality is created, then the belief structure becomes even more easier for you. So you have a hard time believing because you don't have the structural understanding of how the universe really works. You know, a lot of individuals are still thinking or perceiving a physical reality. Hence, they find it hard to believe that things can literally manifest or you can change your life. So that is the part you want to work on. You want to work on understanding and believing that your reality is changeable. You see it every day. You see it around you. You see individuals doing it. You see things happening, and now you guys are starting to experience a lot of synchronicities, a lot of signs through the repeating numbers. You see the feathers, the pennies, and everything like that. So guys, those signs you are perceiving, right? They are indication that you're on a path, or you're in a line, or you're in alignment to what you're in mind with. But here's what happens: you have to take some sort of action to manifest your desire. So if you play the lottery, buy a ticket. Okay. The thing with the money, with the penny thing that I described to you guys, the basic premise behind that is just the fact. It's not that the penny itself. The penny symbolizes the energy. The penny is the energy. Remember I talked about? I said a penny has the same energy frequency as $1 billion or $1 million, because it's just energy. So what we're doing is, see, when I tell you guys to look for pennies and you find pennies and then you pick the penny up and you show gratitude, all the universe knows and recognizes that, look, penny is money. So guess what? Money makes him happy. So what the universe will do, remember we talk about mirroring, because now you're showing an emotion. When you find a penny, you're showing an emotion of what? Gratitude, happiness. So the universe picks that up now and translate your emotion. Money gives you an emotion of what? Gratitude and happiness. So now the quantum world, or what we call the unified field theory, quantum energy field, now will recognize that when you have gratitude and when you feel happy, it signifies energy of money. So that's what happens. Now you're putting that emotion out. So the universe what? Mirrors gratitude frequency, happy frequency, and guess what it translates into the universe as? Money frequency. So now you'll get money appearing into your reality. It's just a natural law, cause and effect. Magnetically, now you have the energy of money. Okay, those are some key points that you want to take heed to. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit more about your mind. So your mind and your consciousness. So you hear me talk a lot about the limiting beliefs. How do you eliminate them? You use the affirmations. We always talk about the brainwave affirmation. So guys, you have to be careful when selecting brainwave affirmations. Okay, a lot of affirmations you have to read in the description what is going into your mind. That's why I suggest to you to use the ones that I recommend. Right? Now, a limiting belief is just a belief that you have within your paradigm that you believe, or you a belief or something that you think or perceive and act on to be true. That is a belief. Okay. So how do we form those beliefs? Well, you form those beliefs between the ages of 4 to 8. That is a time when your brain or your consciousness begins to form your paradigm or your belief structure. So from ages of 4 to 8, whatever you're believing right now, whatever you're thinking, you formed that back then. That is embedded into your subconscious mind. So that's key to remember. 2 ways you can remove them is hypnotherapy or the affirmations. Now here's the key, guys. So you have to find out your specific limiting belief. You may have a limiting belief of failure is not good, or rejection. You feel like if you are a limiting belief of rejection is bad, failure is bad, which is not true. Or you don't like if I take a risk I will fail. All those are limiting beliefs. Failure is not bad. You have to attempt something to be successful. Otherwise, you can never take a risk, that you can never succeed. Okay? Those are known as limiting beliefs. Money is hard to make. No, it is not. Money is easy to make. It is just energy. Those are limiting beliefs that you formed, and guess what happens? Throughout your life, you attempt to use the law of attraction. You attempt to succeed, and then you might get to a certain point and you see some good things happening, but guess what happens? Then you falter back again into that pattern. See, what happens is when you overcome something and you get something, you use what is known as willpower. That's why you can see individuals, they can be successful for a time period, they can sustain a success, and they fall back into the pattern. See, you can use willpower to bypass or override your limiting beliefs, but willpower cannot be sustained continuously. Consistency cannot. You can do it for a period of time. Subconscious mind will take back over and run into the repetition and the habit mode, and you aren't even aware of it. All right. I always like to use this analogy or this experiment that was done by scientists or neuroscience. What they did, they had an individual, and they put him in a room, and they used brain electrodes. Electrodes are these brain tubes, you can say. They put them on your head, and they use them to measure the electrical signals that it is emitted from your brain. So when you have an emotion or reaction, your brain sends off an electrical signal that is interpreted as an action, a thought, or a reaction to something. So they put 2 boxes, box A, box B, and they say, pick a box. I'm going to show you an emotion, just pick the box. So the subject picks box A, and of course the brain fires off the electrical signal, the stimulus, and he picks box A. But here's what happened, guys. 3 seconds before he picks box A, his brain had already fired off an electrical signal. So 3 seconds before he chose box A, his brain already told him what box to pick, knew already what box he was going to pick. And of course he picked box A. So here's what happens. Who's in control? Now 3 seconds before he picks box A, the brain already fired off a signal saying that's what he's going to pick. And of course you picked it. But in your conscious mind, remember, the houses the ego. The ego can rationalize, it can reason. So if it can reason and rationalize, it thinks it knows everything. So the ego part of your mind thinks you made that decision, right? I picked box A. But in essence, your brain fired off 3 seconds before you selected the box A. What does that tell you? Who's in control? Subconscious mind. It runs the show unconsciously, and you aren't even aware. See how your mind works there? 3 seconds before you chose the A box, your brain already predicted it and instructed your mind, your reaction, and you picked it. But because of your conscious mind, which houses your ego, it can rationalize, so it thinks it knows what's going on. It likes to be in control, so it thinks you literally chose it. But in essence, it did not. Your subconscious. So this is what happens when you have these blocks. You think you're running a show. You think, because your conscious mind is saying, we're doing it, we can do it. But then you fail. And you say, why do I always fail? Well, you fail because you're not aware of who's running the show, which is the subconscious. Okay? Things I want you to keep in mind. So, when you can understand and you can remove those limiting beliefs, then you can start to create. Because now you have a different paradigm or a different belief structure. embedded into your mind now. So now you know that money is endless. Money can come to you from anywhere. Now you can manifest money. Now you can win the lottery. Now you can know with certainty that anything you can do, you can change it with your thought and your emotion, because you affect these quantum particles. These particles now behave in accordance with your consciousness or your motives. Okay, that is how you create everything. That is how I created a lot of lottery wins. That's how I started this page, because that's what I use. That's how I create the things that I have in my life, through consciousness, through repetition, and through expectation. So that's what you guys have to do. So if you guys desire to change, or you desire to eliminate or move forward, then you want to be careful with the affirmations. You want to do your research. If you need help and you feel that you need a mentor or somebody to coach you along the way, then feel free to contact me. I can do that. But the process is this: you must know what your limiting beliefs are. You have specific ones, and you have to know. I'll give you a clue. So what you can do, you can sit back and you can ask yourself some questions. Say, ask yourself, what do I really feel about money? First intuitive answer comes to your mind, that is your limiting beliefs. Okay, how do I feel about rejection? How do I feel about failure? How do I feel about success? Those questions you can ask yourself, and the first intuitive answer that comes, that is a sign of your limiting belief. Because the intuitive answer will always be the right answer, because it is a feeling. Remember, subconsciously it runs there. So let me talk about a little bit about what happens when you still have these blocks. I've gotten so much emails from individuals, and they say, Mark, I've been on this journey for 10 years. I've been studying law of attraction for 10 years. I play the lottery since 10 years, and I've only won $20. I've been doing everything, reading all the books, Abraham Hicks. I've been doing everything. I've been reading law of attraction, but nothing seems to work. There's something missing. Well, what is missing is what I'm teaching you. The mind, the conscious part.